Hello friend, how are you doing today? So I want to remind you that this is a transformation reading, and the purpose of this reading is just as nature is always growing, changing, and transforming, you are also always in a state of continuous transformation. The reading's to help you identify where you currently are now on your own journey and help you move forward with grace and understanding as you deal with the challenges of the growing pains that come with this transformation. So first and foremost, let us figure out where we are now. And for whatever reason, we are starting with the tarot cards today. So figure out what we need to know about where we are now. That felt too thick. And the thing is like, before we can even understand how to move forward, a lot of times we need to figure out what it is that we're actually up against now. And sometimes we think it's an easy solution, or we think it's an easy, like, hey, this is my problem. But a lot of times, kind of like that whole tip of the iceberg thing, where you're only looking at the tip and there's much more to your situation that's underneath the surface. So we got Eight of Wands in its upright position. Eight of Wands is that reminder that, yeah, things can happen smoothly, things can move forward, things can move fast, things can be efficient, and that's okay. A lot of times when I get this card, it's almost like the negative message is I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's not that that's ever what this card actually means. It's just the response of what I've been getting from so many people that I sit across from when I give readings, that they're like, yeah, but everything's going too smoothly. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. So understand that, yeah, things can move forward in a positive direction and nothing negative has to come out of it. That's okay. Then we have the High Priestess in her reverse position. So you're not trusting your intuition. You are giving into logic and reasoning, and you want your internal GPS to tell you what you want it to tell you and not what spirit gets to actually let you know. So the story I always like to give with this High Priestess in her reverse position is, you take the same route to work every day. You turn left and then, you get to work. But you can also go straight. And one day your internal GPS, your intuition's like, hey, let's go straight. And you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. If I go straight, I'm going to be 10 minutes late for work. So you turn left. Well, because you turn left, you're now 2 hours late for work because there was a huge traffic jam because there was a car wreck, versus if you would have gone straight, you would have only been 10 minutes late. And the purpose of the story is that's exactly how spirit works. It doesn't have to make logical sense. You don't have to know the reason. You just have to trust the message that comes to you. And a lot of times it's not going to make sense and it's going to feel backwards. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, logic doesn't, work well in the society that we live in now. In the sense of like, sorry, let me repeat what I was going to say. Logic works well in the society that we live in now, but spirit doesn't follow logic. Spirit follows the most efficient. And just because you don't see the efficiency doesn't mean that the efficiency is not actually there. Then we have the Moon in its upright position. So whatever you're going through something. You're getting messages, things are moving smoothly, and that's creating confusion for you. The Moon in its upright position is always more about you receiving information, you getting messages, but there's always the confusion aspect of it. There's always the what do I do with all this information? How do I handle this? What am I supposed to do next? And a lot of times the answer is it's your choice, which can sound scary and almost too simple. The thing is think of it this way. When you want to go purchase a car, you're going to do your research and you're going to purchase the right car for you, right? Well, right now, Spirit's literally giving you a bunch of information so you can make the most informed decision. But instead of seeing the information that they're giving you as information to help you move forward, you're expecting Spirit to give you the answer. And they're not going to give you the answer. They're just going to give you options. Then we have the Three of Wands in its reverse position. Three of Wands tells me that you've been doing things, that you've been putting feelers out there. And what do I mean by that? When I see the Three of Wands, I understand that you've done what you can and that you're in a waiting time. And it's one of those things that's one of those reminders that you can fill out all the applications in the world, but you can't do anything with all the applications you filled out until you get a response back. So when I get the Three of Wands in its reverse position, I understand that you're in a waiting time. You're, having to be patient. You're having to wait on other things. But that doesn't mean you don't have to do anything. It's the exact opposite. When you're in this waiting phase, It's time to act. It's time to prepare. It's time to do the laundry, do the dishes, clean the house. You know, if you are needing to have your bags packed and ready to go somewhere, have your bags packed and ready to go somewhere. If there's housework that needs to be done, do the housework. Allow yourself to learn what it is that you need to learn for whatever you're going after. Don't just wait. Be prepared. The Three of Wands is about preparedness. Because even though you're still waiting, even though things need to happen, even though things need to, you know, reciprocate back to you, doesn't mean that it's time to do nothing. It means it's time to start moving forward with what you have available to you. So the tarot cards are telling me, like with the four that we have there, that things are moving forward, but at the same time, I'm sensing rigidity, and I'm sensing the fact that you want things to be done in an exact way. Here's how I'm coming to this conclusion. High Priestess in reversed means that you're not allowing spirit to be efficient, that you're wanting it to be your way, you're wanting the logic and reasoning. Things are moving forward, just not in the way that you want it to, because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and you're getting all this information, and you're still in this waiting period, but you're in this waiting period because you're not listening to spirit. You're not giving them a chance. You're not giving them the understanding or appreciation that, hey, we're here to guide you. Instead, you're focusing on your plan. So what I'm asking the Oracle cards now is, why are we doing it this way? Like, what's keeping us in this rigidity? Patterns. Patterns is actually a really uncomfortable card for me, because patterns asks you to look at yourself and see the pattern. See what the repetition is here. And it's not even to just see the pattern, but it's once you see the pattern, what can you do to break it? What is it that you can do to go under the surface to say, this isn't me anymore, I'm going to do better, I'm going to do differently? What can you do? What can you find through a self-observation to help you realize, I've been doing this in a very cyclical way, and it's time for me to break free? Alliance. I got two messages right away when I saw alliance. Let's talk about the most obvious alliance here. You know, this woman's holding a rabbit, and there's a butterfly, and it's an alliance with nature. And this is that reminder that you need to be in alliance with your true self. Whether you're male or female, I don't care. This card represents your true, authentic self. The wilderness that you are, the wildness that you are, your spirit. And that's what you need to be in alliance with. But the other message that came to me simultaneously as that first message is, what alliances are holding you back? What are you afraid of leaving behind that's holding you back, that's keeping you in place so that you can't move forward? I can't answer that question for you. This is a general reading. If you want a more specific reading to find out what this might be, hit me up in the link below. But right now, all I can ask you is, what is it that's keeping you from your own alliance with yourself, with your own true nature? There is an outward alliance that's holding you back from your inward alliance. Clarity. Okay. Is that a moth? Yeah, that's a moth. Okay. So this card says clarity, but there's a moth involved. And when I see this, and the reason why I did focus on the moth and I wanted to make sure it was one, is because moth is all about rebirth. Moth is about change. And it's kind of interesting that that moth is on a clarity card. And I've used these cards a lot, and it's the first time I'm like obsessing about the moth. So there's something here. And what it's telling me is, you clearly know what needs to be let go of. You clearly know what needs to be changed. It's a matter of you taking the right action. Because the action is where it's murky. I get that. You know where your goal is, and you know how to, you know what needs to be done. You just don't understand exactly, what it all entails. It's the unknown, it's the uncomfortables, it's the variables that you don't have control over. That murkiness is what's keeping you in this space. And then our last card of this deck. Moderation. I love how moderation has two little, like, hummingbirds. Because moderation, to me, is always the message of, like, don't overindulge, don't overdo. In this case, I was getting don't lean too much on spirit, but don't lean too much on logic. But then I saw the hummingbirds, and I was like, there's joy here, too. There's pure joy and bliss. And I feel like part of what's holding you back is that you want this whole process to be blissful and joyful. But that's not really how life works, unfortunately. This isn't a shoot or drop moment. It's just sometimes the motivation isn't there. Sometimes the drive's not there. Sometimes you have to rely on discipline. Sometimes you have to, like, rely on will. Not all the time. Moderation. Sometimes you'll be emotionally charged to do it. Sometimes you won't be. Sometimes you'll have the discipline to do it. Sometimes you won't. Understand that not just one aspect of yourself is going to drive you forward. You need to have all aspects of yourself to drive you forward. And some days, some aspects are going to shine better than others, and that's okay. That's where this moderation comes into play. Don't expect it to just be one thing only. Moderate. Allow it to be a lot of little things. Allow it to be the truth of what it really is. Now I want to ask for next steps. I want to know what it is that we can do to help us move forward, to help us understand the observation of pattern that we need to find, to help us, connect with our true alliance, and to help us just trust. Also, yes, I kind of picked this deck out because you weren't listening to your intuition, and I realized this is called intuitive oracle cards. So, that was intentional, but it also felt right when I picked it up. Clarity and chaos. In chaos, your intuition brings clarity. Trust it. Alright, well, they just kind of turned the whole message that I've been giving you so far into a simple message where, patterns and alliance and, understanding that you don't have full control over this. But at the same time, that's when your intuition brings clarity. That's when you have to start trusting your intuition. So, honestly, I love this. Also, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I love to say, chaos is where the magic happens, but this card embodies that too. I understand that chaos is uncomfortable and most people don't like it. Even I don't like it at the time of that minute when it's my own personal chaos. Other people's chaos is okay. But it's one of those reminders where it's, this is where your intuition comes into play. This is where you need to trust. This is where you need to allow yourself to set aside logic and reasoning and go internal and trust spirit. Hidden truths. Your intuition is revealing hidden truths. Stay aware. This is about these patterns that I was talking about how you need to allow yourself to observe the patterns so that way you can find the alliance with your true self. Because the listening that you're not doing to your intuition with the High Priestess here, yeah, that's important because she's got some really good stuff to tell you. But if you're not going to listen to it, you're not going to be able to break those patterns. Follow the light. Intuition will lead you toward the light. Trust its direction. That one's straightforward. That's like what your tarot cards were 100% saying, and Spirit's just reiterating. And the fact that Spirit's literally reiterating everything that I verbally said in written text, I find it interesting. And I love that Spirit loves to give you that kind of message. Intuitive healing. Your intuition guides you toward deeper inner healing. Again, this is about you needing to do what is right for you. Also love that this is a cat because I love cats, but remember this clarity card where I said you know what the goal is and you know what actions you need to take, you just the unknown variables. Your intuition is going to guide you through all of that, but you have to trust it. And inner healing, ask for courage, and you don't get to know all the variables. You don't get to know how everything's going to play out. You have to put yourself in that uncomfortable place. It's not fun. It's scary. But the only way you're going to get that thing that you're going after is by doing it. Now let's just ask for some encouragement. Something to help us with this, because this is one of those messages that feels really vague, and like it's not giving important information. But I also know that this is going to resonate with who it's going to resonate, and it's going to make sense to the person who needs to hear it. And I'm okay with that, because not all the messages that I give are for everybody. But I know that this is something important to somebody, so I'm happy to give it. Your fire is sacred. I love so much that this torch also looks like these 8 of Wands. That is very similar. Ugh, the synchronicity of that. I also love that it's that reminder that what you're doing is sacred, that what you're going after is important. And if it's sacred, you need to allow divinity to go into play with it. You need to allow logic and reasoning to take a sidestep for a moment, so that way other things can come into play, so other things can happen, so other things can help you, so that way source can carry you through that uncomfortable unknownness. Small wins matter. This is something that a lot of us forget. Specifically when we're being called to do internal work. Specifically when we're being called to do work that puts you in an uncomfortable position, that puts you in a place, in a space where you don't have easy solutions, and like the progress that you're making is not obvious. Small wins matter. Celebrate those small wins. Capitalize on them for yourself. Allow yourself to be like, yes, I did this. I don't care how small it is. I literally called my friend today just to brag about a mindset growth moment that I had, because I was super proud of myself and I needed to give myself that permission to celebrate. And she celebrated with me, and she called it huge. I called it small. She called it huge. So when I say small wins matter, remember that this is something that's going to help you on the journey, because these stepping stones, they move you forward. If you only focus on the big ones, on the leaps, you're going to get exhausted really soon. Be louder than doubt. Huge. Because a lot of times, doubt is why you won't listen to your intuition. Doubt keeps you in a place of saying, well, I can't do anything because I haven't heard anything. Doubt keeps you from seeing your clarity. And doubt destroys moderation. So, be louder than doubt. Show up scared. This is so important. I also love how we have a moon and the moon. Show up scared. Show up scared and let yourself do it anyway. This is that reminder that you don't have to feel confident. Just trust your intuition, trust spirit, trust source. Show up scared. Do it. Yeah, you want to have that security net. You want to have that, I get it. But right now, source, divine, spirit, God, however you want to say it, is asking you to take that leap of faith. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to follow through with that. And I know that's scary. I've had to take multiple leaps of faith. Every once in a while, I fell flat on my face. But I will say the times I fell flat on my face were the times I was trying to logic and reason my way out. The times that I actually flew in parentheses here because I can't actually fly like Superman. Those were the times that I trusted my intuition and I trusted spirit and I let them help me. And every time it was scary and it was uncomfortable and I didn't know what to expect, but great things still happened. So this is your reading for today. If you want to let me know what resonated in the comments, feel free. I love to hear. But there's something else I want you to know too, and that's whatever you're going through, you're going to make this happen. You're going to do this. I know it's scary and I know it's tough. And if you can't believe in yourself, let me believe for you. Because your heart has listened to every word I said. Your heart knows that there is truth, that you have the ability to do this. I know you do because you made it to the end of this video. So if you don't think you can do it, I know you can do it. I can't wait for you to come back and tell me your success story. This is all I got for you today. You're amazing. I love you so much and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.